Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. And my name is Dr. Shegun Oke, and I will be facilitating this particular class for this today. Permit me to share my screen so that we can all proceed together and have a fun with mathematics. So I believe you can see my screen now.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So for this particular course, I gave us some assignments based on what we did last week. And the assignments is very simple, which you have to be careful. The solution for the assignment, let's solve it together. The solution says, we have it to be, let's write the question, x1. Please, everybody write. Whether you've done it or not, just make sure you write. It's for your own good. I'm not telling story. If I'm telling story, I will say don't write. This is mathematics. Let's do it together. Minus 2x2 plus S3 equals to 3. They said, the question says, consider the system. Consider the system below. So immediately you hear the system, they are not talking about equation 1 alone. They are talking about a kind of system of equation, linear equation, non-linear equation. They are talking about that. So that is why you see as 1 or 2 or 3 equation. It can be more than that. S1 plus S2 minus S3 equals to 5. It's like when they ask you to solve this equation using simultaneous method. So we have different things, but you can use matrix to solve it. 3x1 minus S2 plus 2s3 equals to 12. Now, the first thing you need to know is to find out whether the inverse of a matrix exists. How do we find out? Let's first of all try to, for the fact that you solve it, let's remove our matrix first. Now, equation, let's remove it. The first element there is what? X1, right? For X1, we have to, this means this is 1 X1, but you cannot see 1x1 in mathematics. You rather write x1. So meaning that the coefficient there is 1. Just extract all the coefficients, 1. The second one, don't forget that negative. If you forget the negative, you'll be in trouble. That is one of the complaints one of the students is saying now. So you see, minus 2. The next one is 1. Let's look at the second row. We have 2, 1, and minus 1. Can you please mute yourself? Except if I call your name, please. So the next one will be 3 minus 2 minus 1 and 2. Remember last week when we are doing this, I did something very, very simple where we are doing the first one. Let's go, I can just scroll it up, you see. When we extracted this, you can see what I did here. The next thing you need to write the unknown variables that we are looking for, which is our x1, x2, x3. In another form, it can be A, B, C. It can be X, Y, Z. So anything the examiner can ask you, x1, s2, and s3. Then equals to the constant. Our constant is 3, 5, and 12. So we need to work on this. Don't forget, in this case now, this represents our A, this represents our what? X, and this represents our B. And we all know the formula that we normally use. And the formula says, X, X is equals to A inverse multiplied by B. So if you miss it from this place, sincerely, it will be difficult for you to catch up. Now, we all know the step to find our inverse. So the first thing you need to do is how do we get A inverse? So for A inverse, you need determinant of A. After that, what test do we need?
Minor A.
You said?
Minor A.
Do I call it? Okay, you can say minor A, but altogether at that point is what? Is what?
Cofactor.
Thank you. Cofactor of A. Next, what else do we need? Adjoints. Adjoints of A. And the lastly, you move to A inverse. So if you perform this, you have your A inverse. If you don't do it, forget, no miracle will happen. You will score 0. So it is better we try to do something meaningful. Now, determinant of A, that's the first thing. Let's quickly do that. It's simple. We have the matrix to be what? Can you call the matrix for me?
1 minus 1, 1 minus 2, 1.
Minus.
What is that? Is what? The first row, please.
1 minus 2, 1.
1 minus 2, 1. The second row.
2, 1 minus 1.
The third row.
3 minus 1, 2.
3 minus 1 and 2.
Yes. Christy, you raise up your hand.
Yes, sir. Sir, please, can you re-explain how we get our B?
No, B is there. We don't calculate it. It's the one that is equals to. They are your constants.
Oh,
Are you getting it now?
okay.
We are not
that
calculating
our B
anything.
will be
It's just the, you remember simultaneous equation, where what is equal to will be your B, the X will be your unknown, the one you are looking for.
okay.
Our variables. Then A is our extract, our coefficient of the variables.
All
So
right, thank you.
solve. You're welcome. So for us to solve this one, we have plus, minus, plus. It's just to guide us. It doesn't make anything. Now, the first one will be what? 1. In brackets. Okay. I believe none of us is struggling with determinants. Anybody struggling with determinants? Okay. Let's do it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Because plus or minus sign, this area is where the problem lies.
Okay, no problem. So we pick, you see the way I label it now.
Yes, yes.
Now I pick one. The row that I pick one will be paralyzed, and the column will also paralyze.
Yes.
You see, when I say paralyzed means this one will cancel, this one will cancel. Remain what? What is inside? 1 minus 1 minus 1
minus 1
2. Hey, plus, hello, please just mute yourself, please. Just be following. I don't want any noise from any scutter, please. So now that is for the one. Now we have another one. The top negative is there. Put it there first. Now, if the element you are dealing with has another negative, that it will multiply themselves. So just put it in brackets. If you know you are not sure how to handle it, just do like this. Now, remember, the column will paralyze, the row will also paralyze. So remain, what is remaining will be the one we put in the minor. So we have it to be 2 minus 1, 3, 2. So the last one is plus. If it is negative, put it in brackets too so that you will know. And the element is 1. Put 1 there. We can only do this because we are dealing with what we call determinant. So we pick the element we cross, that one will also go. So we have 2, 3, 1 minus 1. So all you need to do is just to cross multiply. You have 1 into this multiplied by this, and this multiplied by this. So we have 2 minus 1 times minus 1, 1 positive. Then minus times minus, positive 2. Open the brackets. 2 times 2, 4. Minus 3 times 1, minus 3. Minus times minus, plus, right? You have it to be 3. Plus 1 into minus 2 minus 3. So our determinant of A is equals to, this is 1 plus 2 times 3, 4 times 3, 12. 4 plus 3, sorry. That is 7, 14, right? So here we have minus 5. So what is your final answer? Anybody?
10.
10.
10. 10, sir.
So if you don't get 10, definitely you will miss your final answer. That is just the issue. Some of us miss it from the determinant. You know yourself. I don't need to mention your name. How many of us got 10 here? Raise up your hand. Remember, I have the 2, 3, 4, 3. Okay. I have your script with me, so I know those who got it. You know what I did? Immediately I check your determinant. If it's not 10, I know you already missed the question. Then some of us still miss it down when you cannot manage the sign. So the next thing we need to do is just to find the cofactors. So for us to find the cofactors, we all know the method. Employ your minor matrix. Remember when I was teaching you last week, some of us are just taking it like play. So now it now turns to another thing.
Yes, sir.
Minus 1
Go ahead.
raised to power I plus j minus I j. So
Hello?
it is simple. I'm going to join
Uh,
a lot of steps here because I don't expect you to.
no problem, no problem.
Who is that? I will just remove some people this morning so that you know we are serious here. Once I remove you, that's the end. If you cannot mute your mic, I'm not saying you should not talk where you are. Yeah, somebody's raising up their hand. Adebisi, Abibisi, yes.
Yes, sir. You know, from the last column, we have 2 to minus 1. We have 3 to 1. But what we have at the end of the day, we have minus 2, minus 3. So I need more clarification on that.
Where are you talking about?
From we have 1 bracket 2 minus 1 bracket plus 2 bracket 4 plus 3 bracket
Yes.
plus 1. Now we now have minus 2 minus 3. So I need clarification on that because
it's very simple, sir.
Okay.
Just look at it. Look at this. This is multiplying this, right?
Yes.
Which is minus 1 times 2 is minus 2.
Okay.
Right? On a
Okay,
normal day, the metric says A11, A11 minus A12. Let me just put it this way.
Okay.
That's how it's supposed to be. That is, you're supposed to multiply. When you are cross multiplication here, you need to do what we call, as you are cross multiplying, it must be taken away. Like the way I did it, A, B, C, D. Now, it's going to be AD minus BC.
Okay. Okay.
So AD minus BC,
Okay.
meaning that whether the sign is positive or negative, I must put the minus first. If the sign now positive, negative, it will multiply the one inside. That was the case of what happened here. That was what happened here. So I hope that one is clear. Let's continue, please. We have a lot to do today. So these are the things. So from here, we need to get, let's do A11 minus 1 raised to power what? 2 in brackets. It's going to be what? What's the first? Anybody?
1 minus 1 minus 1, 2.
Okay. It's going to be, meaning that some of us are still looking, where are they calling? This one will paralyze, this one will go. So it's going to be 1 minus 1 minus 1, 2. So when you quickly calculate it, what do you have? Remember, the outside is 1. You have 2 minus 1, right? So the second one, raised to power 3, is going to be, so anybody can call the value for us?
2 minus 1, 3, 2.
Please, is it correct? Confirm it, everybody. Remember, you are taking A22 now. Sorry, A12. You pick A12, which is our interesting value here. When you pick this one, you have it, this one paralyzed, this one follow. It's going to be 2 minus 1, 3, 2. So the next one, minus 1 raised to power 4 A13. What's the value, please? Anybody? A13.
7.
Which one is 7? I'm
Oh,
not
sorry.
calculating. I'm just saying A13. Just tell me.
213 minus 1.
3 - 1.
2, 1.
3 minus 1.
So you guys should be calculating it by yourself. So you are only need the final answer. So A21 will be
Minus 2 1.
minus 2,
minus
1.
Minus 2 1 minus 1 2.
Minus 2, 1.
Minus 1 2.
Is it minus 1 again? Yes, Chrissy.
Yes, sir. I want to suggest if you can just solve C11, C12, and C13. Because there is something I want to get at that C12 and yes, on C12.
That is for you. What about others?
Because when you started, I said I'm having issue
You've
with.
not answered my question. What about others?
Okay.
We have to solve everything. It is you that you are saying that. Others don't
No,
even.
you said we should solve it and provide the answer. That's why
No,
I'm
that one is just a
suggesting.
very simple thing. That's just arithmetic. So just call me the value first. Don't worry. When we get there, we'll solve it. Minus 2, 1. Minus 2, 1.
Minus 1 2.
Minus 1,
2.
2. Just a minute, please. Let me stop recording.
Right. So that
You-
we all be at the same page. Doesn't need that, right?
Okay. Can you see the board now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Who is that man making noise? Once you make noise, you cannot control your mic, I remove you. So you don't need to disturb us. Just go to your market, do whatever you want to do there. So the next one is what? The next answer, please. -2. Yes, the answer is what? I will leave
Minus
it for,
5.
The next answer is
just leave it
minus,
if you
minus
if
5.
you guys cannot talk
Minus
it.
5.
Minus 5.
This one is what?
3.
Why?
3.
3, yes, she's right.
3.
It's 3.
Yes,
Yes, sir.
Why is it 3?
because the minor matrix is -2, 1,
Did
1, -2, -1,
Okay.
2.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah.
Or mute yourself if you are not talking. Once I see your mic disturbing us, I will remove you. I've removed 2 people now. Once your mic is making noise, except if I ask you a question, please. Next,
-1.
-1. Okay. Next,
-5.
next,
1.
this is 3, 2, 1, right?
Yes, 1.
So which one is that giving you problem?
Now, I thought that I did not get it, but I don't know that it's right. Not that sure.
Adam? Okay. So this one is what?
3
And the last one?
is 5.
So you'll be calling it Ola Deborah. Are you there?
Yes, sir.
So call the cofactor for me, row by row. Row 1 is what?
1 minus 7 minus 5.
You are not ready?
Sorry, I'm ready, sir.
Christy, go ahead. Row 1.
1, 3, 1.
1 minus 7 minus
1
5
minus 7 minus 5.
minus 5.
Okay. 2. Row 2.
3 minus 1 minus 5
Minus 1.
minus 5.
Okay. Last one.
1, 3, 5.
So the major things at this point is cofactor. How do we get the adjoint? The adjoint of A follows.
Transpose of the cofactor.
Who is that? Transpose of a cofactor will lead to that. So it's going to be cofactor of A transpose, which is the same thing as let the row become a column. So it's going to be 1 minus 7 minus 5. The next 3 minus 1 minus 5. Next 1, 3, 5. So the next thing is to multiply by our A inverse will be 1 all over determinant multiplied by everything, right? So what's the final answer, please? Anybody? Really one, Tayo. What do we do at this point? Really one, Tayo. Are you still there? Ojo Titus. Francis Ibe Izuchukwu. Okay, if you guys are not talking, then it's fine. Okay, John Oko, you want to say something? You raise up your hand.
Yes, sir. You asked a question, I want to answer.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, at the point we are, we'll proceed to find AX equals to B, which X is going to give us A inverse B.
Okay.
Okay, should I call the final answer to that?
So are you saying we multiply it by B instantly now?
Yes, A inverse, yes. A inverse multiplied by B.
Okay.
And when you multiply A inverse by B, and our B there is 3.
So that means we should keep one. You can't get A inverse without multiplying by A. Remember everything here, they are A inverse. You agree with me?
Yes, sir.
So if you are multiplying by B, what is our B? Bring the B down.
Our B is 3, 5, 12.
Good. So when you multiply it correctly, you have what? 1 all over 10.
Yes, sir.
I believe you know when you are multiplying here is row multiplied by column.
Yes, sir.
Everybody take note of that. So it's going to be 3 multiplied by 1. Who is that? Three multiplied by 1
plus 3 multiplied by 5.
John Oko, are they making
Yes,
noise
sir.
from where you are?
Okay, let me mute myself.
Just mute yourself. I don't want any disturbance with this class. So it's going to be 3 multiplied by 1, or 1 multiplied by 3, plus 3 multiplied by 5, then plus 1 multiplied by 12. Which is, let me just calculate this one so that we all know what we are saying. We still have 1/10 out there. It's going to be 3 plus 15 plus 12. So you do the same thing to the rest. So at the end of the day, you have what we mean by our x will be 1/10 in brackets. The first one is 30. The second one is 10. If you do it very well, the last one is 20. So which is going to be this divided by each of them. So you have it to be 3, 1, 2. Therefore, which is same thing as our x1, s2, and s3. So our x1 is equals to 3, s2 equals to 1, then s3 equals to 2. Few of us got it. So for those of us that got it, congratulations. And for those of us that are still struggling with it, I believe we've learned from our mistakes now. Any question, please? Any question? If you have questions, you can raise up your hand so that you can unmute yourself. Okay, I believe it's clear now. Christy?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay, now let's quickly solve one part of the what we call a rank matrix. Rank of a matrix. Then we'll be using row echelon and column echelon to solve it. So from there, I'll just solve one question, then we'll call it a day. So by next class, we'll go into it deeply. Then I can send 1 or 2 questions for you guys to solve and see what we've done. Okay, back to the charts. So the rank of a matrix. Rank of matrix. The rank of a matrix, we have different methods of solving the rank of a matrix. And I will be checking with, we have the normal form, and to know what is the rank of this particular matrix. Then we have what we call row echelon form. Maybe I'm going to use the row echelon form for today. Then the next class we will continue from there. I believe you can see my screen. Can we all see the screen, please?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay. For the row echelon form, it has some laws that govern it. So part of those laws that govern it will be one of the things we will check. Then if you read your course material, they put a lot of things there, which we are still going to go back to it. Number one, we are using echelon method now. Sorry. Echelon form. For the echelon form, what are the things we need to know? Number one thing you need to know for the echelon form is you only apply only row operation. Only row operation are allowed. 2. Roman figure 2. You have to reduce the matrix to upper triangle or triangular matrix. Remember, it's part of, you know the definition of triangular matrix now. It's part of the assignment that I gave you. Number 3, if it's not there, please try and read it. This is our sign for the rank of a matrix is equals to number of row of non-zero row. Let me put it there. Non-zero rows. What do we mean by number of non-zero rows? Can somebody just tell us?
Number of rows that don't have all entries to be 0.
Yes, thank you. It simply means number of rows that in that row, not all of them are 0. For example, if you have a matrix, first row now, you have only 1, others are 0, it's still non-zero because there are elements there that are not 0. So that is the meaning of number of row that have all these non-zero row. So let's take notes of that. I will need your audience when we are solving this, but it's quite simple, but a bit tricky for those of us. Okay, let's look at the example. Find example 1. How many of us have seen in your question that they will ask you, what is the rank of a matrix? They will put it there, they will say, what is the rank of this matrix? Raise up your hand if you've seen it. Nobody. Okay, only one person. Okay. Please, guys, you need to buckle up, please. Let's work on ourselves. Nothing come easy. Let's solve it. Find rank of matrix A. Find rank of matrix A. Find rank of matrix A where you have 1, 2, 3, minus 1. 1, 2, 3, minus 1. Then you have minus 2, minus 1, minus 3, minus 1. You have what we call 1, 0, 1, minus 1, 0, 1, 1, minus 1. So this is our matrix A. We are asked to find the rank. Don't forget, we are using echelon form. One of the things you need to know in row echelon form is, first thing, you are only allowed to use row, not column in this method. You are only allowed to use row, not method. So if I'm not column in this method, then the target is we need to check. You need to know the definition of upper triangular matrix. If you know the definition, then you don't have problem. In upper triangular matrix, the diagonal, you must be able to identify your diagonal matrix. Then, if you're able to identify your diagonal matrix, and the upper aspect of it must be non-zero row. The rest, we are looking at how do we make this place. Look at it from this question now. How do we make this place? This is diagonal, right? This is our diagonal. The element across is diagonal matrix. Then how do we make everything here from here to here to be equals to 0? How do we make them to be equals to 0? That is, or even to this point to be equals to 0. Then, how do we maintain everything from here to there, all this side, to remain non-zero? That is our target. I repeat, the upper triangular matrix, go and know the definition. So let's solve it. The first operation we need to perform now, as I explained, remember, this is upper triangular matrix. Always have it at the back of your mind that diagonal others will be 0. Then here will be value. Have it at the back of your mind. I just give you the scripture so that you just know that, okay, this is where we are going. Now, the first operation is our first element here must remain this, must be 1, and which we are given is 1. So we don't have problem. Now, the first thing is, how do we, let's work on row 2. How do we make that row 2 to be 0 to eliminate them? Now, let's identify this. This is row 1, so that when I'm saying row, some of you will understand. Row 2 and row 3, and the last one is row 4. Now, for row 2 to be 0, the first entry there, for it to be 0, we are saying row 2 now. We want to work on row 2. So who can tell us what are we going to do to make row 2, the first entry, to be 0? Because that's our target. This entry. Sorry. How can we make this one? I think it's minus. How can we make this one to be 0?
Sir,
Yes.
sir, can we multiply row 3 by 2? Then we subtract from row 2, sir.
That you are complicating the issue. You can use any of the row, but why can't we start by saying row 2 plus 2 row 1? Do you agree with me?
Yeah, that is what I'm trying to say, sir.
Oh, I thought you are saying row 3.
Okay, I thought you said we must maintain on our unity along the diagonal.
Yes, you must maintain it. It doesn't matter that you will not use it. You can still use it, still maintain.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Now, what do you think we can do to row 3 to also make that one? Remember, all those 1 need to be 0. Row 3 also need to be worked on. We need to operate row 3 too. How do we make row 3 to be 1?
Row 3 minus 1. Minus row 1.
Correct. Meaning row 3 minus row 1. Please raise up your hand if you know what we are saying is not clear to you. Because if you don't get it from here, you need to get this elementary. Yes. Francis, where is not clear to you? Unmute yourself. Oh, sorry. Christy, where is not clear to you, please?
So I'm lost, though. I don't even understand from beginning. It's like
Better don't lost. So we've not done anything. We are only trying to make it. That's why I said it's a bit tricky. We want to make first entry point row 2 to be 0. Then we now notice that, okay, 1 is up in row 1. Row 1 will maintain its own identity. But how do we work on row 2, row 3, row 4? So that is what we are saying. Row 1 will maintain its own, but we can use row 1 to operate. Now, what we really want suggested was, let's use row 2. Let's add, since we know that we have -2 in row 2, why can't we say we multiply row 1 by 2 so that 2 times 1 will be 2 plus -2 will give us 0, and we've already achieved our aim.
Okay,
that is
sir.
That is what we are saying.
Okay, sir.
Now, Francis, I hope you are in line now. Oh, okay, let's continue. So we write the matrix out. Don't forget, I already put the operation there. Our A will now be simplified to B. You will help me to be calling them so that, okay, I can still call them, don't worry. So we have it to be, you can use arrow in front of it if you want it, or you can just convert it like that. Remember, row 1 maintains its own identity, which is 1, 2, 3, -1. This is what it turns to. Now, let me just do a small calculation here so that you understand what we are doing. Look at it. Row 2, the first entry there is what? -2. Don't forget it's row 2 we are working on now. The element that will be in row 2, we want to calculate. We have the first entry is -2 plus 2 multiplied by 1 in row 1 is 4. Is 2, right? Which is equals to what? 0. Then you pick another element 2 in row 2, -1 plus 2 times 2 in row 1, 4, which is 3. You pick another element in row 2 again, -3 plus 3 times 2 in row 1, 6, which is 3. You pick another element. The last one will be -1 plus -2 equals to minus 3. So that is what we are going to write in row 2 now.
So the 2 we are using to multiply row 1, where do we get it from?
We were the one that created it. Nobody will give you. Okay, I just tell you, you stay, for example, you stay in Lagos, right? Now, you are going to the airport and they said there is traffic on the main road. Are you going to stay in the traffic and you have alternative routes? You would rather follow alternative route, right? Is it that you drop your car, somebody will be taking your car back home, or you take your bike, or you, that's just it. But how do we make the second entry from the main question to be that? How do we make it? So that is the question. To make it, now we have 0, we have 3, and minus 3. BC, go ahead, sir.
Yes, I understood the R2 minus 2 plus 2 bracket 1, which is equal to 0. I understand that. Okay. But we have another one, which is minus 1 plus 4. So I'm asking, where is this 4? Where is it coming from?
I decided not to write 2 multiplied by 2. You guys need to you guys need to come up. Look at it. 2 multiplied by R1. Meaning all the R1, all the elements in R1 will be multiplied by 2.
Okay.
Are you okay now?
Okay, sir.
Have you seen where we get the 4?
Yes, sir.
Because you have to add accordingly.
Okay.
Each of them accordingly. Not that you go and add this one and add this one. No. Look at minus 1 here. Minus 1 is here. We know that this is multiplied by 2. 2 times 2, 4. That's why you see it.
Okay.
We have minus 3 here.
Yes.
2 times 3 here, 6.
Yes, okay.
We have minus 1 here. Yes. Minus 1 times 2. Minus 2. That is why you see it. So now, let's solve R3.
Okay.
For the R3, can we do it by ourselves? I've taught you now the way you were going to do it. So R3 will be R3 minus R1. So we know our R3 to be what? 1 minus 1 is equal to what? 0. You understand my point? 0 minus 2 is equal. Remember, this is what we are doing though. This is R3. Our R3 minus this. Each of the elements accordingly. So it's going to be what? Minus, or mute yourself if I did not call you. Okay, Francis, noisy area. Okay, no problem. It is better like that. So next is what's the next answer, please? Anybody?
Minus 2.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
1
sir,
minus
please,
3.
I need to take the question again.
Can you?
Sir, please, I need to get the question. I think I made a mistake in the second row of the question.
Minus 2, minus 1, minus 3, 1.
Minus 1. Minus 1.
Okay, it's going to be
3.
1
1
minus
minus 3.
3 is 1.
Okay.
Is it minus 1?
-2.
That is -2.
Okay.
-2.
The last one, minus 1
-1
minus
Minus
1
-1.
is what?
0.
Minus-
-1 minus -1.
No, -1 minus -1.
Which is what?
0.
Which is
0.
0. 0.
Thank you. So it's going to be 0
Minus
2
-2, 0.
minus 2, 0. Is it going to be minus 1? Let's check it very well.
Yes, it will be minus
Yes, minus
-1.
-1.
Yes.
Yes,
Now,
sir.
sorry, look at this question. Put positive here. Let this one be positive. We've not used it. Let it be positive so that when I was writing the question, I was the one that made that mistake. So it's going to be what now?
-1
2.
-2.
Is it going to be ordinary 2?
Minus
Yes, ordinary 2.
No, -2.
1 minus -1. That's
No, it's -1 minus. Okay,
Wait.
yeah.
It
You
will
don't
be
need to
2.
fight.
Minus times minus.
It's going to be what?
2,
R3
sir.
is
Minus
what?
times
Let's
minus.
go to R3. 1.
yes.
It's going to be 1 minus
Minus
1. It's going to be what?
1 plus 1. That's 2.
That's
Oh,
2. You understand my point now? 2.
Yes.
Now, remain, leave the 4 alone the way it is. It's still okay for us until we get to. Because 0 is the beginning of the 4. That's why we leave it. Now, we need to also work on how do we make R2 and R3 to be zeros? How? How do we make it to be zeros? Let's check it. R2 and R3. So it's going to be, you can see,
R3. Can I talk?
so go ahead, talk.
Okay, sir. So R3 is R2. Sorry, R3 plus 2/3.
It's going to be, let's say R2 now. We want to work on R2.
Oh.
It's going to be R2 minus what? Do you agree with me? Remember, all of the elements in row 2, they are 3s. So we want to remove that 3.
Yeah.
So by the time you multiply them by R4, R4 is 1. 1 times 3 is 3.
It's 3.
So it will be easy for us to eliminate it. Then, who can tell us the one of R3?
R3 is R3 plus 2R4.
No, sir.
Yes?
I think we should use R3 plus R1, sir. One will be easier for row 3.
For row 3?
Yes, sir. If we have,
remember, row 4 has 1, 1, 1.
Yes, sir.
So row 3 will be R3
minus
plus
2R4.
2R4. Exactly.
Wow.
So what do we have now? Let's do it together. Our one maintain one. So for R2, let's work on R2 first. Don't forget your R2. I'm just doing this side work. It's not compulsory. Nobody is marking it. You can use your hand to do it once you get your operation ready. So it's going to be R2. Our R2 is 0, the first one, minus 3R. Minus 0, right?
Yeah, that's 0.
That's 0. So we have 0 here. The next one is 3 minus 3. 0. You know where we got the 3. Remember, this one is multiplied by 3. So that's why we got the 3. So it's going to be, the next one will be
3 minus 3, 0.
3 minus 3 again, 0. Then the last one will be minus 3 plus 3 is
3
what?
plus 6.
Oh, minus 3 plus 3.
0, 0, 0.
0.
Yes.
So the third row will be what? 0, because when you add 4th plus 3, 0 plus 0, 0. Then the next one will be minus 2 plus 2 is what? 0. The next one will be minus 2 again, plus 2, 0.
0.
The last one will be plus 2 minus 2.
0.
Remain the 1. 0, 1, 1, minus 1. So at this point, we might not have any other things to do rather than to do this switching. You can switch. For us to switch, we can switch with R2 to switch to, this is the sign to switch to R4. That is, all the row 2 will move to row 4, and row 4 will move to row 2 because of our definition. Upper, we are talking about echelon now. So it's going to be we have our 1, 2, 3, minus 1. The next is 0, 1, 1, minus 1. So the rest will be 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. So how do we identify this is our diagonal? You can see our diagonal. Everything down, they are what?
0.
0.
0. You see the upper one, you can see the non-zero there. So meaning that our row 1, then our row 2. Row 1 and row 2, they are non-zero rows. Therefore, the rank of the matrix is the number of non-zero rows that we have. So which is the rank of A in this case is 2. That is the number of non-zero rows. Any question? Any question, please? I know we have a lot of questions, right?
I have a lot of questions because it's like magic. I'm not getting it, sir.
Don't worry, but that's why I put it is a bit explanatory here. Just I want to stop sharing. Can I stop sharing? I believe you will copy it now. So if you can on your video, you can on it, no problem. So some of us said we did not get it, right?
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Yes,
Olayinka,
yes, sir.
you want to say something?
No, sir.
Or who is talking? Joseph? Joshua? Okay.
Hello, sir.
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, I think the good thing is we have the record. So what you do for us is to just help us, and maybe at the end of the day you post it to our WhatsApp group. Because honestly, to somebody like me, the video is helpful. So whatever it is now, I have my notes. What I will do is to just go back to the video and then begin to take it one after the other. So
Now,
I think that
yes, it is okay like that. But I will still advise you. You just have to get to used to this thing. There's no rocket science. They are very simple and direct. Juliana, any question?
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, good morning, Joseph, Joshua.
Yes, sir. Sir, please, I want to really apologize. Actually, I'm just hooking up now because early this morning, I just took time to do my assignment. So the thing affected me. Please.
I can't hear you.
I don't know the topic you just stated now. If hello, sir.
Yes, I'm. Your video, your audio is not. Yes.
Okay,
yes,
can you hear me now?
I can hear you.
Okay. Thinking up now. Actually, my assignment because of my busy schedule, so it affected me not to link up to one.
Are you getting it now?
So share the screen
Yes.
again.
Now, wow. When you are teaching adults, you are in trouble. This is. Can you get the? Okay, look at it. I'm just giving an example.
Sir, sorry, let me say something to the person that asked the question. Sir, can I talk?
Go ahead.
That row 3, let's assume that the first number there is 7. I don't know if the person is with me.
Yes, I'm with you.
Okay, assuming that 5 is 7, she understand. So our row 3 will now be R3 minus 7 into R1. That
This
5
is what
is
we are
not
saying.
constant.
You know
That
what?
5 is not constant.
No, wait. We are just assuming. We are
Yes.
not. Look at it. This is the original question.
It's just an assumption.
It's just an assumption.
Okay.
You see? It's just an assumption. Wait.
I was
Okay,
wondering
what
what the
is
type
here,
of ghetto.
please? 1, right?
That is 1, yes.
Now, we are saying this question is simple. People are now asking, how do you get it? I said, okay. For example, don't write this. If you need it, you can write it. I'm just trying to explain the way we got to this point. Is a simple thing. The question says, look at the method. This is the rules that you need to follow. Rule 1, 2, 3. For example, if I give you assignments now, and I did not make this one, I check, because which I'm going to do for you after the class, I will make sure you have today's assignment on time. For example, if I put this one to be 5, what will happen to this? Look at it. When it is 1, is when we have this. Are you all hearing me now? Now,
Yes, sir.
that this row 3 is now 5. What will happen? Our R3 returns to what? R3
minus 5R1.
minus 5R1.
R1.
Nobody will tell you, because we are just making, since this one is 5, and I know I cannot say 5 minus 1. It will not give me 0. So the only thing that can make it to give me 0 is just to make sure. See, you are concerned with the first column. That is our target first. So now, what will happen if this place turns to 8? What will happen?
R3 minus 8R1.
No R3 now. Let me clean R3 so that you will know what I'm saying. If R2 now turns to 8.
Okay, that will be R2 minus
R2.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that would be R2 minus 8R1.
R1.
Minus 8R1. No, that's correct. You can see now. Is it difficult? It's not difficult.
No.
Now, sir, if we move to the next figure, which is minus 1.
It's the same. Now, if you move to the next figure, which is, you use the same operation on them. Remember,
okay, let's say, like, hello, sir, like the row 2 now. In row 1, we have 2 up. Then
it will now be, wait, row 2 is minus 1, right?
Yes.
Minus 8 times 2.
Okay.
16 is going to be minus 17. Don't mind it. Just continue like that, because you have to perform that operation throughout that row. The next one will be minus 3. Minus 8 times 3.
24.
24. You put it there. Equals to minus 27. Don't bother yourself. Your target is you already achieved your target, which is 0. You continue like that till you get to a point whereby something of this nature will happen. Look at what we did here. Look at what we did here. After we multiplied the first one, we now said, okay, we don't need all these things here. All these things. How can we make it 0? This is not Baba Jebu. For those of you that normally play Lotto. So, please, what do I clean here?
3.
Is it 3 or minus 3?
3. And the other one, the row 2 at the last in the minus 3.
Minus 3. Okay. So, now, what do we do here? We notice that there is negative here. There is negative for row 2. How do we, and we know that row 1 is easier for us. You look for which one will give you easier exit, which is 1, 1, 1, minus 1. Anything you multiply by 1 will give you the same number, right? And I know I need to eliminate 3. Nobody should tell you that you should multiply it by 3. That is what we did. Assuming our row 2, this is 6. 6 minus 6. What will happen to this place? What will happen here? What is our row 2 will be? Row 2 minus what? Anybody?
Row 2 minus 6 row 4.
That's all. 6 row 4. In case it's 6, I'm just giving an example. So, guys, let's try as much as possible and solve the question. Make sure you close your book when you get to your room. Close your book, or if you are still in your room, close it and make sure you solve it again. You can maneuver your way different way, but the easiest one is what I'm just discussing with us. Yes.
Sir.